This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast and Shine On You Crazy Daisy book volume 2. And today I have Caitlyn Roberts from Reignite Fitness for you. Caitlyn, tell us about your business.
Hello, thank you. So basically my business is all around helping other mums to make some kind of transformation, whether that be in weight loss or in their mindset or even weight gain. We've had people wanting to build strength. So it's all about transforming your life in some way for the better, really.
Amazing. And what really struck me about the conversation that you had in your chapter was that a friend said to you when you were younger, do you know you'd be the prettiest one out of all of your friends if only you lost weight? And it broke my heart. What did that do to your mind at that point? How did you feel? And do you think that drove you at 18, 19 into a toxic relationship?
Yeah, so that happened in the middle of a club. So there was lots of loud music. Nobody else heard. It was very shocking to me, really, because it was somebody I thought was a friend. So because I thought they were a friend, I took it on board quite a lot. And I think that's always put me, my self-esteem down and lowered. And it's really just shaped the fact that I thought, yeah, I might be pretty, but nobody's going to want me or love me because I'm not the skinny one. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm pretty. I'm not skinny and I don't look like my friends. And at that point, I was already in the relationship that I was in. And I think that along with other things is what really made me stay in that relationship, because I didn't have the self-confidence. I felt that, you know, I wasn't the prettiest or the skinniest. So actually this might be the best I'm going to get, as well as being young, as well as not really having other boyfriends or partners. You know, that's where I was at with that. So yeah, it affected me quite a lot.
It's a massive thing to happen to any child, any person, that where your self-esteem's knocked and your confidence is knocked, then coming back from that takes a lot of work. But what you did was turn that around into almost a challenge for yourself of having children, deciding that you wanted to change your lifestyle, which you'd obviously tried a few times before. But what made you follow through eventually?
Really, it was my children. So I'd had my eldest, he was 2.5. Then I had my youngest, Phoebe. And at that point, we had decided we didn't want any more children. That was it. We had one of each. You know, we were happy with 2. So there was no more excuses I could tell myself. After having Isaac, you know, oh, I'm going to have another baby. There's no point in losing the weight because I'll just put it back on again. And after Phoebe was born, that was pretty much it. I didn't have any more excuses. I didn't want my children to be embarrassed of me in the playground at school. I wanted to be a good role model for them. I didn't want them to experience what I had experienced growing up and being overweight. So it was a whole catalyst of things, but mainly the children. I also, my eldest brother, he lived in America, but he was a world powerlifting champion. And he had gone from that to then stepping on stage and doing bodybuilding. So he had gone through his own transformation. So I reached out to him for help. And overnight, that night I spoke to him, I joined the gym and I went the next day. I didn't go in the door the next day, but I went. So yeah, that was that really.
That's really interesting. So you went to the gym, but you didn't go in?
3 times I went, but didn't go through the door.
Really?
Yeah, because of the anxiety, because apart from that time, I'd never really gone to the gym. I'd gone once before when it was like the school gym with a friend, and I'd never really gone before. So I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if people were going to be staring at me or if I'd look silly from not knowing what I was doing. So it took me a while and a few nudges from my brother to actually get me through the door.
But that's the thing, isn't it? With anything, it's gathering support around you that you need and crave at that point of your life, whether it's in business or personally. And being just you saying that will help a lot of people realize that they may have tried before, they may have got to that door, but it might take a few tries for you to walk in. And that's really, it's wonderful that you can say that, but it's always with hindsight that it's part of your story.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think there is so much anxiety for a lot of people, especially women, of making that first step and going through the doors, that's enough to put them off and to never even try. So yeah, keep going.
One support system.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did you learn to love yourself, and why did you realize that that was important?
Yeah. So once I started my journey, for me, it was all or nothing. So I was all in. And for 6 months, I was dedicated and strict with my nutrition, with my workouts. And I lost 6 stone in 6 months. Yeah. And at that point, yes, I was more confident. And yes, I was happier in my skin. But there were still a lot of issues. There was still a lot of self-doubt and self-confidence issues. And I realized at that point that it wasn't the weight that was the biggest problem for me. So from then, I then did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of mindfulness and work on myself. And that's when I realized, really dug deep and found that it was from the inside that I needed to love myself before any of the outside could be reflected.
So how? What did you say, mindfulness and the other tools that how did you, because I think a lot of us get stuck in this bit of, no, I'm doing the right things, but loving yourself is a whole different ballgame. How did you do that?
Yeah, so I enrolled in different courses. I did one called The Rising Vibe that looked at created beliefs and limiting beliefs, and finding why I felt the way I did about certain things. So I'm a people pleaser. I like people to like me, and it really upsets me if they don't. Whether I like them or not, that's one of my core beliefs. I want people to like me. So realizing that then gave me the tool to look at why I behaved in certain ways, why I allowed people to treat me certain ways. And that was, the catalyst to that. I also did a lot of meditation. I'm very spiritual. So that helped me a lot as well.
I tell you, the people pleasing aspect of women entrepreneurs is so strong. And we could talk about it till the cows come home. And I've had my business for 11 years. I still have that element of people pleasing, but I think it's also bringing in the boundaries that you need and want for your own sanity in the long run as well. And realizing what benefits you and what doesn't. That it's such
100%.
How do you now deal with people pleasing? Is there a different way of approaching it?
Well, I'm still struggling with it, as many other people, because it's ingrained in me. But now I'm, like you said, I'm looking at what serves me and what I want in my life, and what I will accept. So although I want to please other people, if it doesn't serve me, then I'm not going to do it or go along with it. So that's really where I'm at, because, and also my children, they're a big factor in it as well. So if it doesn't work for me and them, then, it's not welcome.
What that sounds like is that Caitlyn Roberts years ago kind of found her power and felt empowered. And now you're standing in your strength, which gives you the ability to know that you're a people pleaser, but you don't have to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it. All right. What's one lesson that you've learned that you would want every entrepreneur to know?
Consistency. Don't give up. Keep going. It's hard. It's not easy. If anyone tells you it's easy, it's not. And don't be put off by every hurdle that you have. Things are sent to test us, and it's how we deal with them and grow and progress from that. That's the most important thing. So have your vision and stick to it.
Absolutely. Consistency is one of my favorite words. That's brilliant. What's your favorite business book?
At the moment, I'm currently listening to Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins, and that's really helping me a lot. I would recommend that. Yeah.
What does that give you? What is the book about?
So it's basically about unleashing the power within, finding your power and doing it. One of the best quotes that I've heard in it so far is, "Knowledge isn't power, action is power." So that really stuck with me.
Yes. And oh, crikey, if people go and read your chapter and realize how much that quote that you're hearing now, you have done and achieved over your absolutely, action is the power that you need to be able to move it forward. Caitlyn, thank you so much for being a part of the book and for doing the podcast and for putting your heart and soul out there in the way that you do, and helping other people to reignite the fitness that they want to find for themselves.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor. I've really enjoyed every part of it. So thank you.
Thanks, Caitlyn. Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books Shine On You Crazy Daisy and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.